Dear students, now we are reading the play A Sunny Morning. There I come across the discussion between Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. The initially discussion between Petra and Donna Laura, then Canito and this Don Gonzalo, and the discussion between Laura and Gonzalo. First it was about regarding the bench, next it was about regarding shoe brush, then third it was about the spectacles, fourth it is regarding hunting, and next it is regarding glasses and eyesight. Later it is regarding reading the book. It is reading the book there, and snuff also discussion took place of snuff, and snuff made peace between this Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. And we are reading this play. In our previous class we completed this one, Don Gonzalo reading that book. The daughters of the mothers I once loved kiss me now as they would a graven image. Those lines, I take it, are in a humorous vein. Laura laughing, I take them so too. Gonzalo, there are some beautiful poems in this book. Here 20 years pass, he returns. 20 years pass, he returns. Then here Laura once again commented on his reading style. You cannot imagine how it affects me to see you reading with all those glasses, enormous pair of glasses, struggling very hard to find out the words and to read. So Gonzalo, he asked a question, can you read without any glasses? Certainly, she said. Yes, I can. Then Gonzalo had certainly, when she said certainly, Gonzalo said, at your age, you are joking. Laura, pass me the book. Then he passed the book. Then takes book, reads aloud. 20 years pass, he returns. 20 years pass, he returns. And each, beholding the other, exclaims, can it be that this is he? Heavens, is it she? Can it be that this is he? Heavens, is it she? Means, can it be that this is he in the sense? She questioned herself in that poem. See, that character questions herself that this is the person whom I loved previously, or this is the lady whom I loved. So these questions they asked in their minds. Then Donna Laura returns the book to Don Gonzalo. She returned the book, Don Gonzalo. And here the discussion starts here. Don Gonzalo, indeed, really, I hate your wonderful eyesight. Her Don Gonzalo appreciated. I envy means I hate your, or appreciated. You are wonderful. He appreciated her wonderful eyesight. Laura moved aside, or turned aside, better called turned aside, not looking at Gonzalo, looking aside. I know every word by heart. It means that Laura hid the secret. What is that secret here? Without glasses, she couldn't read, but she can only because she knows every word by heart. She knows that book, that complete book by heart. That is why she hid that secrecy. Gonzalo, I am very fond of good verses. I love good poems, good verses. Really very fond. I even wrote, composed means I even wrote some in my youth. He said, he was very fond of some good verses, and very fond. It means liked very much. He even had composed, written some in his youthhood. In his youthhood, he says, Laura, good ones, really, good poems of all kinds. Gonzalo said, of all kinds. I was a great friend of Esperanza, Zorilla, Becker, and others. I first met Jorilla in America. Here, Gonzalo, of all kinds, I was a great friend of Esperanza, Jorilla, Becker, and others. It means writers, first rank writers, or poets of Spain, and others first met Jorilla in America. I first met Jorilla in America. I was a great friend of Esperanza, Jorilla Becker, and he first met Jorilla in America. Suddenly she asked another question, Donna Laura, why have you been in America? Why have you been in America? This question was asked. Have you been in America? What was the reason? Gonzalo, several times. The first time I went, I was only 6 years old. Several times. Many times I had been to America. The first time I went, I was only 6 years old. He said at the age of 6, he had been to America. Laura, you must have gone with Columbus in one of his caravels. See here, one of Columbus said, you must have gone with Columbus, Columbus, the man who discovered the America under the flag of Spain. Actually, Christopher Columbus discovered America under the flag of Spain. And so it is here. The question that is, see, once again, see comments, it is not a question, it is a comment on that Don Gonzalo, you might have gone with Columbus then, not now, then here, when he discovered America, I think you were also one of the members of his team. Then laughing. Here at this time, Don Gonzalo didn't get angry or furious. He started to laugh because already there is a peace between these two. The peace has been established between these two. Gonzalo laughing. I am not quite as bad as that. I am old. Not quite as bad as that. I am old, I admit, but I didn't know Ferdinand and Isabella. They both laugh. I was also a great friend of Campomer. I met him in Valencia. I am a native of that city. I am the native of that city. I met him in Valencia. I am a native of that city. Here, see, the discussion is humorous. That is why it is called the blend of romance. This play, there is a romance and comedy. These two. In this play, we read here comedy and romance. Till this part, we have seen the comedy between these two. Now, we will read romance. Here he says, not quite as bad as that. No, I am not that much of old. I too accept. I am old. I too accept that I am old, but not as bad as that. Okay, but I don't know Ferdinand and Isabella. Who is Ferdinand and Isabella? Ferdinand and Isabella are the monarchs of Spain. Monarchs of Spain here. Here, because of the marriage of these two, Ferdinand and Isabella, they established de facto unification of Spain. Because of the marriage of Ferdinand and Isabella, they established de facto the unification of Spain, and Spain emerged. Okay, let it be Ferdinand and Isabella monarchs, and they supported the Christopher Columbus to discover new lands. That is why Columbus here he undertook his voyages under the flag of Spain. Okay, so here I was also great friend of Campomer. I said I am a great friend of Campomer. I met him in Valencia. See, this is the key word in this play. Valencia. I am a native of that city. He said. Gonzalo said, I am the native of Valencia. Now here this place further reveals the actual relationship between that Gonzalo and Laura. And you are, see here, Laura, surprised, questioned, confused. See here, you are Gonzalo. I was brought up there, born and brought up there, and there I spent my early youth. Have you ever visited that city? So Gonzalo, no, I was born and brought up there only. And I spent my early youthhood also where in Valencia, this place, Valencia. He questioned Donna Laura, have you ever visited that city? Have you ever visited Valencia? Then Laura, yes, she said, yes, sir, sinner, not far from Valencia. Further, she continues her memory. Now they go on telling their memories, but they won't say or they don't reveal their identity. They know mutually. Further, they will come to know regarding their mutual relationship before. In their youthhood, they were lovers. But at the age of 70, what is the use of revealing their real identities? No, it is not of use. So, yes, sinner, not far from Valencia, there was a bungalow. There was a villa that if it is there still, should remain or retain memories of me. I spent several seasons there, several months, she says, Laura says. And it was many years ago, it was near the sea, hidden away among lemon and orange trees. They called it. What is the place of that? Actually, he had forgotten that place. He is not getting the word or the name of that place. They called it, let me see. What did they call it? Let me see. What did they call it? Marisela. He said place Valencia and she said the place called Marisela. Okay, here she says, yes sir, not from that Valencia, there was very close to that Valencia, there was a big bungalow that if still there should retain memories of me. In that bungalow, there are my memories. My memories are there in that bungalow. I spent several months or years, seasons means but years. It was many years ago. It was very close to the sea. The place, it was very close to the sea and covered with what? Trees, lemon and orange trees. They called it. Let me see. He is recalling. He is remembering. Let me see. What did they call it? Marisela. Where? The place called Valencia. Very close to Valencia, there is a place, big villa that is called Marisela. Marisela. So here now, further, Don Gonzalo startled in the sense confused, surprised, shocked, better called shocked and surprised. Because both the discussion is going to the one particular point. Don Gonzalo startled Marisela, as he said Valencia, he said Marisela. Laura, Marisela. Is the name familiar to you? He questioned, have you ever visited Valencia? She explained now. She questions, is the name familiar to you, Marisela? Gonzalo, yes, very familiar. In my memory, if my memory serves me right, for we forget as we grow old, there lived in that villa the most beautiful woman. There lived in that bungalow the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. And I assure you, I have seen many. I have seen many, but let me see, what was her name? He started to recall her name, Laura, recalling once, remembering her name, Laura, Laurente, Laura, Laurente, means Further he explains, very familiar, that Maricela is very familiar to me, and if my memory serves right, there lived in that bungalow, there lived the most beautiful woman I have ever seen many, but the most beautiful woman used to stay in that Maricela, and her name was, he started to recall, Laura Launte. Now it is the turn of this Donna Laura, startled, shocked and surprised. Laura Laurente, Gonzalo. Yes, he said yes. They look at each other intently. They look at each other with an intention, intently. There is a purpose. Her intently they met. Their eyes met intently. Laura recovering herself because she was looking at Don Gonzalo intently, recovering herself once again. See, her recovered herself. Okay, nothing had happened. Okay. Didn't show. She didn't express. She is hiding everything. You reminded me of my best friend. Suddenly she changed her tongue, because actually here Laura Laurente, in the sense, this is Donna Laura. She used to stay there, and this fellow was there in Valencia. They met in that place, Valencia, mutually. There started that affair. But now, at the age of 70, seated on the bench at the extreme end, and they are discussing about the life previously. Nothing. Okay, you reminded me of whom? My best friend. You reminded me of whom? My best friend. Don Gonzalo. How strange, she says. How strange. He knows. How strange. Exclamatory mark is there. How strange. How strange it is. Donna Laura. They started to discuss on that lady. Actually, that lady, who is that lady? This Donna Laura only. How strange. It is strange, Laura. She was called the Silver Maiden. Maiden means woman. The most beautiful woman. Used to stay in Maricela, in the place called Valencia, and she was also called the Silver Maiden. Don't go precisely, exactly, surely. The Silver Maiden, by the name she was known in that locality. No one called her as Laura Laurente, but all knew, and in that locality she was known as the Silver Maiden. Hence, I seem to see her as if she were before me now at the window with the red roses. Do you remember that window? Yes, her. I seem to see her as if she were before me now. See the word? She were before me now. See, it means we use her plural form with she because impossibilities are made possible. Okay, impossibilities are made possible. Hence, I seem to see her as if. Now, what I feel is, she were before me now. Now, she is standing before me now. He feels so. At that window, do you remember that window where she used to stand with a bouquet of flowers, with red roses, with bouquet of red roses? Do you remember that window? Very close to that window, she used to stay with a bouquet of red flowers, waiting for whom? Waiting for the gallant lover. Then, yes, I remember. Yes, I remember him. Yes, Laura said, I remember. It was the window of her room. She used to stand at the window of her room. Gonzalo, she spent many hours there only. That lady used to spend many hours at the window holding her red roses. In my day. Further he given the conclusion. That I mean in my day, means whenever I used to go at that time, I have seen then. Laura sighing, she sighed, given long breath. That is sighing, and in mine too. In mine too. Here, I mean in my day, it means in her day itself. Then Gonzalo explains the beauty of that silver maiden, the most beautiful woman, Laura Leonte. She was ideal. She was ideal. Fair as lily, jet black hair and black eyes, with uncommonly sweet expression. She seemed to cast radiance wherever she was. Her figure was beautiful, perfect. What forms of sovereign beauty God models in human clay, she was a dream. We can see such, according to him. Gonzalo says, she was a dream, means we can dream such beauties. We cannot see. So, she was like a dream, actualized dream. The beauty. She was ideal. Ideal in the sense, classic, very perfect. Okay? Ideal. Fair as lily, like a flower. Fair as lily. Simile. Fair as lily. Most beautiful. Jet black hair and black eyes. Her uncommonly sweet expression, her appearance. Her appearance by seeing her face. So, expression on her face. And wherever she used to stay, she used to cast radiance. Used to say, cast radiance, that glittering, shining. Wherever she used to say, there was a beauty. There was beauty spread. That type of beauty here. Ideal, just like lily, jet black hair, black eyes, uncommonly sweet expression. And she used to spread that shining wherever she was. And about her figure was beautiful and perfect. Complete that beauty. Further, what forms of sovereign beauty? It is not a beauty, it is a ultimate beauty. Sovereign beauty means extraordinary beauty and ultimate beauty. Who made God models actually here in human clay. God models in human clay. God has made in this human being, human clay. She was a dream. Actually, he says, according to him, he can dream, but he can see there. That is why she was a dream. That type of beauty. Her explanation of beauty of that Laura Leonte, the silver maiden, the most beautiful woman who was staying here in the villa called Marisela and place called, it is that Valencia. Next, aside, Laura, aside. Now they understand who they are. Now 100% conclusion is there between them regarding their previous relationship. Aside, turning away from Don Gonzalo, Laura turning away from Don Gonzalo and said to herself, if you but knew that dream was now by your side, you would realize what dreams come to. See, if you but knew that dream was now by your side, you are talking about dreams, he was a dream. What? The classic beauty, ideal, lily, jet black hair, black eyes, sweet expression, everything you are explaining, that beauty is her was now by your side. That beauty is now seated by your side only now. How? Aside, said to herself. What he was explaining, that beauty was there on the same bench, her just beside him. You would realize what dreams come to. The dream is very close to you. She was very unfortunate. And had a sad love affair. But that most beautiful woman, the silver maiden, Laura Leonte, had a very unfortunate and sad love affair. Gonzalo They are telling lies. They are knitting cock and bull stories. They are hiding about their own identities. Now the reason is that what is the use of revealing that relationship now at the age of 70? No use. Okay. So he said, very sad. Oh, of course, very sad love affair. They look at each other. They look at each other. Mutually, they have come to reason that their relationship. Laura, did you hear of it? Do you know? Do you know? Did you hear of it? Do you know anything about that relationship? Gonza, yes, I know. Laura, the ways of providence are strange. The ways of providence are strange. Aside, Gonzalo. Aside, Gonzalo. The ways of providence are strange. Providence means what here? Fate and fortunate. Fate. Fortunate. Fate and fortunate. The ways of providence. Who knows what fate is and what fortune is? Simply we have to move on. So, strange, very strange. Aside, Gonzalo. Expecting one thing, happening another one thing. That is why it says, Gonzalo, yes, he recalled the gallant lover. In the same affair, he started to speak about someone, the gallant lover. Who is that? Gonzalo himself. But he said someone, the gallant lover, the brave lover. In the same relationship, Laura, the duel. Duel means here, the fight between the formal fight. Duel means the formal fight. The formal fight between two with here guns or swords. Here. That is the formal fight between these two. Exactly, Gonzalo said, exactly, the fight. The gallant lover. Who was that gallant lover? He said, once again he said, another one lie. They are telling again and again, the cock and bull stories about their own identities. The gallant lover was, who was that gallant lover? This Gonzalo himself, but he said, changed the word, my cousin, of whom I was very fond, whom he loved very much, liked very much. He said that gallant lover was my cousin. And yes, Laura, oh yes, a cousin. Further discussion started between these two. Laura, oh yes, a cousin. My friend told me in one of her letters the story of that affair, which was truly romantic. He, your cousin, passed by on horseback every morning down the rose path under her window and tossed up her balcony a bouquet of flowers which she caught. See the relation. Donna Laura. She explains the relationship between, they are talking about their relationship in those days. They are recalling their memories in the name of his cousin and her friend. She says her friend. There was no her friend, herself. He says her cousin, himself. Okay. Oh yes, a cousin. My friend told me in one of her letters. She wrote many letters to whom? To this Donna Laura, and explains the love affair between that gallant lover and herself. Truly romantic. He, your cousin, passed on horseback. He used to pass on, seated on the horseback. Horseback. And every morning he used to pass the rose path under her window. Every morning he used to pass under her window. Under her window, the rose path. How? Being seated on horseback. Passed by on horseback. Every morning down the rose path under her window. Under her window there was a rose path, and he used to pass her by on a horseback. And while riding the horse, he used to toss up her bouquet of flowers and tossed up to her balcony. He used to toss up her balcony a bouquet of flowers. he used to throw her bouquet of flowers through the window, and she used to catch. He used to throw, she used to catch. This was a routine in their youthhood. In those days, Gonzalo, then he says, what she used to do. And later in the afternoon, this is the morning scene, and in the afternoon, that gallant horseman would return by the same path, on the same path. At that time, she used to throw the bouquet of flowers, and he used to catch. And catch the bouquet of flowers, she would toss him. In the morning, he used to throw, she used to catch. In the afternoon, she used to throw, he used to catch the bouquet of flowers. That is why previously it is mentioned that she used to spend the maximum hours of a day where standing very close to the window, holding red roses. Yes, Laura, yes, they wanted to marry. They wanted to marry her to a merchant whom she wouldn't have. Yes, they wanted, means her parents wanted to marry her to a merchant whom she didn't like, Gonzalo. And one night, when my cousin waited under window, her cousin waited her window to hear her sing, and he was very eager to listen the song which was sung by his beloved, with Gonzalo himself. They are telling stories, it is not real thing. This is this one. To hear this sing, the other person means the merchant, presented himself. Merchant also came. Here the gallant lover is there. That lady is very close to the window, about to sing a melodious song. This gallant lover is there to listen and enjoy the song being sung by whom? That beloved. And another one character entered, that is a merchant. So in our next class, my dear students, will read what happens between these, or amongst these three, between this Gonzalo and Donna Laura. Thank you. Have a good day.